Well, it's Wolves 3, Arsenal 1. What a game of football today at Molineux Stadium. First time Wolves have beaten Arsenal in like 40 years, and it's a fantastic victory for us. We really needed this. This is hopefully going to be a real big momentum boost now going into the last 3 games of the season. And now, the push for 7th place is very, very much on, and a possible European qualification spot. I think that game on Saturday against Watford is huge, really, really big, and I think that's going to decide it. And this is perfect preparation for Wolves. A total contrast almost to that game against Brighton on Saturday where we had full dominance and we just couldn't score. Today, Arsenal probably, they had 70% of the possession, but Wolves' first half were unreal. I think it's one of the best performances I've seen from Wolves this season so far. Really, really clinical, really sharp, and really wanted it. And starting off with the starting lineup, I think, I called it on the preview. I expected Morgan Gibbs-White to drop out and then Donker to return, and that's exactly what happened. Bennett kept his place at the back as well. Obviously, Rui Patricio in net as normal. And Jota and Jimenez up top, and those two were pivotal in today's victory. I think, we didn't sit too far deep. I think Wolves we knew we needed to go and attack, and we knew that Arsenal had their own vulnerabilities. They played quite high, and that really caused problems for them. I think, no disrespect to Arsenal, the fullbacks of Monreal and Maitland-Niles isn't the strongest fullback pairing in the league, is it? So Wolves had the licence to attack that a little bit more. We really stretched them at times. Had a couple of big opportunities. The first one really being Moutinho from about 25 yards out, curling it wide. And then from there, we were just dominating the game. I think Jimenez had a half chance as well where he blasted over. And then came the first goal of the game. Brilliant run again. Drew the foul. I think it was Johnny with a fantastic run, who we'll talk about a lot more later. Running across the defence, drew the foul. And there could only be one man to step up, couldn't there? Mr. Ruben Neves. Been struggling as of late, in my opinion. And I think a lot of fans were probably expecting a little bit more from him this season. But he needed a big moment. And this was it. I don't know if you guys know the vlogger Dazzling Dave. I met up with him before the game, and he said to me Neves was due a goal, and today was that day. He got it. It was a very, very good free kick. I think the height on it was literally perfect, right on the top of the wall. So the goalkeeper would have seen it very, very late and perfect. Exactly what we needed to get us going. And that was really, that really pumped us up. And Ruben then had a fantastic game. I do like Ruben Neves. I'm really, really glad he's got that goal, and hopefully it can push him forward now to finish the season on a high, really. And then from there, we just looked like scoring every time we got the ball going forward. The second goal came via a corner, another short corner. Mr. João Moutinho laying it off, and Johnny actually getting an assist. So he obviously got the assist for the first goal, drawing the foul for the free kick, then whipping in a great ball again. A really dangerous area. To be fair, the Arsenal goalkeeper Leno didn't do himself much favours, but Doc again, right place, right time, grabbing himself another goal this season. Really good record this season, and another header, which is great for us to double our lead. And it didn't end there, did it? The first half was absolutely crazy, and Diogo Jota, who was one of, if not the player of the match, another mistake from Arsenal losing possession. Jota doing what he does best, running at this defence, and what we saw today from Jota, which we haven't seen the last few weeks because it's been very difficult to do so, is him picking the ball up and driving at defences. Him and Jimenez do that so well, but when we're coming up against the teams like Brighton, where they've got 6 or 7 men already like really deep, it's very difficult for us to do that. So he was, getting the ball and driving with it, and Arsenal just couldn't cope. Again, Leno should have done a lot better, but I think the run and the momentum from Jota just did enough to get that ball into the back of the net. And from there, it was almost as if we'd won the game before the half-time whistle had even gone. It would have been extremely difficult for Arsenal to get their way back into the game. But at the same time, Wolves could have shut up shop, or, could have, switched off there, and it could have so easily been a different picture in the second half. We came into the second half, and to be honest, we attacked, or we played, in my opinion, as well, or, we attacked the same sort of way that we did in the first half. Arsenal hogged the possession and a lot of the ball, but just didn't do enough with it, did they? I think Arsenal fans will be very, very disappointed with their performance because, they just didn't create enough. Someone who was bigging up a lot in the match preview was Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He was missing today, and I think, that he was a big miss for Arsenal. I read a tweet before the match, and an Arsenal fan had said Lacazette, because Lacazette and Aubameyang rotate, Lacazette is great at taking chances, but Aubameyang is great at creating his own chances, and I think that's what Arsenal really, really lacked today. They had the same amount of shots as Wolves, but just the one on target. I believe that was the goal. Corner kick in, Socrates header. Of course, Wolves, I don't think we're the best at defending set pieces. Possibly could have commanded our area a little bit better there, but you know what? It's very rare that we keep clean sheets anyway, and for us to be 3 goals up, I think, against a massive team like Arsenal, you've got to give credit to Wolves today. They really, really worked their socks off. Arsenal, again, I just think they were too shaky. They've been dreadful away this season, and that's a big, big loss for them. They've got to, on behalf of for their fans, they've got to have a really strong end to the season. But for Wolves, huge win, and this will give us some momentum now. Watford, as I say, is a must win. Even if we get a point, to be fair, I think that's fantastic. I think the fixtures definitely favour us and Watford over sort of the likes of Everton and Leicester. So it's going to be one of us for that 7th place. Got to get something against Watford. Got to still pick up a point against Fulham, and I think we may well do it. In regards to individual performances, though, I think Patricio had very, very little to do. I think his kicking was a lot better today. Staying in the pitch, finding those players who have got the aerial threat, and actually starting off a couple of decent moves off his goal kicks. The back three was solid as well. Willy Bolly did have a little bit of work to do on that left-hand side. I think with the likes of Mkhitaryan, Eddie Nketiah came on in the second half and offered a little bit of threat for Arsenal. He did exactly what he needed to do. Ryan Bennett as well was pretty solid, as well as Connor Cody. Some of the passing from that back three today as well was superb, and we were really calm. We weren't rushing things. Just the little passing moves was fantastic. Doc as well, darting up and down the wing, really caused Arsenal a few issues early on. He actually created a couple of good chances, some fantastic balls across the Arsenal defence as well. But for me, left wing back Johnny was probably one of, if not the best performance I've seen from him in a Wall shirt, and I'd arguably say he would be my man of the match. 2 assists today. And I love Ruben Vinagre. I big Ruben Vinagre up a lot in most of the match reviews and match previews. But to be honest, I think today showed to me even more that Johnny's actually capable of doing both. He can go forward, and the way he just holds the ball, the way he twists and turns, makes it very, very difficult for defences to defend against him. The midfield three again was key today. Leander Dendoncker did all his work. Holding the ball really well. With these little passing sequences, him and Doc on that right-hand side, combining with Raul Jimenez as well. Neves as well, on top of his goal. Really, really solid. I think he actually worked a lot harder today. He was pressing a little bit higher, which I liked from him. That I saw at times as well. Jean Martino, Mr. Rolls Royce, he's still fantastic, isn't he? The grace that he adds to the field. The way he can, he dictates the game at times. And again, he was sort of similar to Neves and Dendoncker, coming short towards the end of the game. It was him, Cavallero and Johnny just, keeping that ball in the corner and wasted a couple more seconds of time. Then the front two, Diego Jota and Jimenez. Jimenez probably not as effective as we normally see in these sort of big wins, but he was still a fantastic asset to the team today. He created chances, his movement really dragged defenders out, and he could have got a couple of goals himself on another day. Diego Jota, though, if there was another man of the match for me, it would be him as well as Johnny. Jota, the way he runs at defenders and the way he's scoring goals, now he's adding goals to his game even more. Arguably, him and Jimenez could be very, very big contenders for player of the season, probably alongside Jean Martino. But as well as that, we do have a Talking Walls player of the season vote on our website. I'll make sure I leave a link to that in the description. You guys can give your thoughts. But a massive win for Wolves overall. I don't think there's much more to be said, but get in there. Fantastic victory. Another 3 points and back up to 7th place is the dream for European football still on. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure you click the little notification bell as well. Make sure you don't miss out on any uploads. Wolves 3, Arsenal 1. We'll be back for the Watford preview in the next couple of days or so. But until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your week. I'm sure I'll see you all very, very soon.